You can hear the stadium music playing in the background, and you know what that means. That means we are about to get in game. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on the server here with the players doing their final preparation on Rock and Roll here. The last map of this match, the decider map, it could be very, very important here for the players. So, yeah.
So, here, quick question. I know this may sound a little bit unprofessional for me, for you, the audience, but we're on our first time casting each other, and we're heading into rounds. How do you want to play this out? One round for each other, or a bit more freewheeling and see what happens?
Freewheeling sounds like a good Trackmania term here. I think we'll go with the flow and see what we are able to do here, man. We're on to a good start.
I think it's going to be really close and really hectic. So we're really sorry in advance if we hear ours, if you can hear our voices sometimes overlap, because we kind of get carried away to try to bring the excitement and the passion and the emotion that goes with each round of Trackmania. So it's all for the spectacle that we do this, guys. Bless.
All right. A spectacle indeed. Here we can see the players getting ready in the rounds, and this is a scenario we could see later on today. In just about 40 or 50 minutes or so, we will be onto this track, and we will maybe have some finalists trying to close out a round, just like this one here. Affi looking the best in this warm-up. Rollin and Massa matching him though, close behind. So just 1 minute remains here, guys. And then we are going live. Or are we live? We have round one here actually underway. I wonder if that is correct or not.
Wait, is it really live?
But
is it live 1 minute and a half long? We haven't been warned already, and it seems as though we got a good battle between Affi and Rollin. Is it live or not? Wait, hold on.
Let's actually find out here. It is going to be cut mode.
It is live apparently, as we saw. So, yeah, we had a bit of a restart. And it seems as though the first round will go to Affi, Massa in second, and Rollin third. It doesn't. And please. Oh, wait. It seems as though we do have a bit of technical issue. What is going on? Professional casting. Yeah, I know. We're doing our best, man. I mean, it seems as though.
So we are on to the second round now. On Rock and Roll here, the first map. I think the map order has been turned around, if anything. Or is Softy B here gonna have something to say? We'll see. For now, we are concerning this as if it is live, and we are on to the second round here. Affi currently in the lead as they go up the hill. Massa close behind, and Rollin in third here. Oh, Rollin has actually dropped down, had to respawn, it seems like. And he will be out of it. Egér now joining the mix, and they are neck and neck and neck after the quarter pipes.
Yeah, it seems as though Affi is still remaining in the lead 0.2 of a second in front of Egér, who is right on the heels of Massa. Let's actually try to follow him a little bit here. Egér currently sitting in third place, 0.2 down on the leader. Meanwhile, it seems as though Affi is controlling the race convincingly, and we're having a really nice battle coming up as we have heading into Identity for the second time here.
And here we go. Affi though has hit the wall. He will be out of it, and it is now between Massa and Egér, and they have been practicing this together the last few weeks here. Now who's gonna get on top in this round? Egér going very inside, Massa going even more inside though, and Egér is the lone survivor here. A 1:11.88, certainly not a great time, but he will get the win because the players around him have all stumbled in this round. Affi securing second there after that big crash, Massa third, and Rollin, and with no time to finish, gets 0 points that round.
So at the start of round 3, the standings are the following: 16 points for Affi in first place, Massa tied on point with Egér, but Massa with the better finishes will be in second, Egér third, and Rollin with 4 points in fourth place, as we are adding already into round number 3. And a pretty good start, pretty packed already, 1/10 of a second between Massa currently rounding out the field and Rollin and the leading pack, as they are going really tightly now onto the transfer.
We go into the quarter pipes. We've seen this section be so decisive in other rounds on this track. It's been played a lot in the playoffs and the regular season, and here we can see that all 4 players do make it. The Rollin has dropped behind a bit now. The difference is 0.2, but the other 3 players are dead even as we go into the wall ride. Who will get the best speed here? It seems to be Affi, as he's currently in first. Massa is chasing though, and they are between 100 of each other. Egér dropping down, and it could be between Affi and Massa here. This is the battle we're taking a look at as they come up to the last identity, and here anything can happen.
Meanwhile, it seems as though Massa is retaining the lead, but Affi with a bit more momentum as they head into the identity for the third time here in this second match of the single elimination bracket. Affi with more speed. Look at Massa going for the full risk. He's going to be able to cross it, but he's going to be Affi who will cross the line first with the 111.154. Massa second, Egér third, and Rollin in fourth place. We'll get 3 points back in there. And we were going to have to see the rankings after everything. It's going to be Affi who will confirm his lead. 26 points for him, 10 points for Massa in second, 16 points for Massa in second, and 14 for Egér in third at the start of round 4.
And what a great ending there by Affi to secure those 10. Now currently sits dominantly in first with 26, and they are stepping up the pace. We saw that round being way faster than the previous, and that is healthy signs here. Some great Trackmania is being played, and in this round we are again going even up the hill here. Rollin clips the hole, but he does make it out alive. Though we saw Affi crash the pole, and he will not get many points this round. It is now a 3-way battle, and Massa will jump up to first, Egér closely behind, and Rollin in third after the quarter pipes. Onto the platform turn we go, and up the hill. It's very important to get great speed out of this uphill. Let's see who gets it the best. Rollin clips the inside, and now it is a 1v1 here, Egér versus Massa.
Massa, who was actually battling it out wheel to wheel before we got to the roll ride, but a little bit of a mistake by him, a little bit momentum dropped, and it seems as though we got a Massa fail, and it's going to be a respawn for him, and it's going to be all on Egér now to finish and get the points back in for him. 10 points on the board for him if he manages to get through the identity, but we saw many people fail, and Egér could be one of those joining down the Hall of Shame, and it may be not the case, and it's going to be Egér who will win the round. First place for him, Rollin in second place. That's actually safe. Massa is able to finish. It's going to be a close call.
Too far away.
It's a far too far.
So there'll be very few points distributed this round. Egér, happy with those 10 though, gets very close to Affi now on the overall standings. But Massa that round, the magician just disappeared after the loop. He was nowhere to be seen, and Egér could safely close out that round now at 24 points. Here we go with the last round on Rock and Roll. This one is a close affair. All 4 players getting a great start here. Massa with the outside pole line will extend his lead now with the added speed that line gives you going to the quarter pipes. He is first, Egér and Rollin shortly behind. Egér might be jumping too short here, and he has to respawn. He will be out of that race, and now it is Rollin in first, Affi second, and Massa in third.
And it seems as though we got a battle brewing between Germany and Switzerland. The two nations next to each other are battling it out. It seems as though Affi has got a much better line than Rollin as well, and he's going to jump up into the lead with a 10th of a gap between him and Rollin, and Massa is going to have to pound. He's going to be waiting to pound and try to overtake Rollin for second place. He does so before we get to the identity that's going to come up in the best part of 5 seconds. He's going to try to catch up to Affi right now. Rollin with a bit of a wider line, and he's going to drop a lot of momentum. Oh, almost touching the wall on the part of Massa, but Rollin bounces back with the momentum. Let's actually see the identity now. Will it go for Affi-Egér, for Affi, Rollin, and Massa? And it seems as though Affi will come in first place, Massa second, and Rollin has crossed the line in third. So then Affi...
Very close right there. Affi, another 10 points now, 36 on the first map. Massa securing 6 there. It's closing things out, jumps up to 22, and the final standings after map 1 is Affi in first with 36, Egér in second with 27, Massa in third with 22, and Rollin in fourth with 17. We are going on to the second map here. This is contest diving.
So after the first 5 rounds of this round, you got the round down by Wirtual. 36 points for Affi in first, 27 for Egér second, 22 for Massa third, and 17 for Rollin in third. Going into contest diving, as we pointed out, sorry for the burp that slipped through, the 2-part identity is going to be absolutely key. Going for a particularly safe strat will lose you a lot of points, but going for the risky strat might not be exactly worth it, as it doesn't really save much time in comparison to go for the all-wheel grass slide. And yeah, we're going to have to see the different schools that are going to be applied in this particular part.
And I think though we are seeing Affi with a bad start in this warm-up is going to be the designated favorite on this track here to get a lot of points and extend this lead, because he dropped a massive time here in the time attack. A 122.75 was the time we saw, and anything below a 124 here is certainly acceptable for a round like this. Affi, of course, one of the better dirt players in this match here, and this track is one of the most dirt heavy. About the first 30 seconds of the start here is pure dirt, and he can look to capitalize there. And also on this identity, he is one of the favorites. Egér here though, leading the warm-up by half a second, has gotten through it cleanly. This is the identity on the track. The 90-degree sideways slide turn here. You can see Affi here making up ground, and suddenly he has caught up to the Hungarian player. And now we have one more part, the two-part that we talked about, where the players will drop on the left side of this water ledge and try to get across the bumps, and it will actually be Egér who takes the warm-up there, a 1:24.29. But now things get real, the stakes get real, and the points as well. Players are trying now to get as many as they can on the first round of contest diving, and we are spectating Affi.
So here we go then, map number 2 underway on this second match of the single elimination bracket of the Open Grand League combining so far Massa and Rollin pulling out a little bit, getting the whole shot after CP1, less than half a tenth between them, and Affi in third place, Egér closing the gap a little bit and having a kind of mistake already. He's already down a second on the leading pack. Massa, Rollin, and Affi still battling it out with each other as we are going to be done with the third party. Massa failing horribly here, glitching the outside of the curb, and it's going to be Affi versus Rollin as we exit the dirt.
Yeah, first round here, and already it's a 1v1 between the two neighbors, should we say, Switzerland and Austria here. Affi and Rollin next to each other now, only 10 hundredths apart halfway through contest diving. The contest dive will be decisive here between the two, as we've seen so much time can be gained or lost in that sector. Though Affi is making up ground here now, has extended his lead to 0.32, 0.36 it is on the latest checkpoint, and now we are going into the identity here. Affi with the upper hand, but cannot save this part. It needs to be taken with precision and with great speed to keep this lead ahead of Rollin. Here we go. And Affi will get a great rolling clips to turn, and will this allow Massa to capitalize? Should certainly be closer, but no. Affi now very far ahead. One part remaining, elects to save it here. He knows he has the time to work with, and that's going to be a win for Affi. Egér hitting the ring here, and that might allow... no, it will actually not. He will be dead last here without any finish on this track.
So then, after the result of this round 10-6-4 for Affi, Rollin, and Massa, and Affi comforts his lead yet again with 46 points on the board for him. Egér second with 27, but Massa is now closing 1 point only behind 1 point behind Egér, only in third.
Yeah, Massa now. It's very close between the three other players, but Affi cleared 20-point lead already, only on the second map here. Looking great so far in this match. Rollin, though, will hit the wall there and drops down, and now Egér and Massa could get some points on him, could get some points on Affi here. They are ahead of him as we go up the final part of the dirt and go into their territory. Massa, of course, one of the greatest tech players in this game. Egér certainly showing tech prowess as well, and this is the section where they can look to gain time on Affi, but he is holding his own well here. Actually will get closer himself to the other two players, and he is in with range to get this round as well and get another round in a row here.
And it seems as though the pack is really tight here between Affi, Egér, and Massa. Only less than a tenth between all of these three players that they're going to head into the identity now. Massa potentially on the verge of going some big points here. Affi currently sitting a little bit further behind, 0.3 of a second behind the leader. Egér is going to go through the identity. Affi with the aggressive line here. He's going to try to get so much momentum, and he seems as though he's going to make short work of both of them to get into the lead as they're going to go through the final part in the identity. But look at Egér. He's got much more momentum than him. Let's actually see. It's going to be pretty much over the line. Let's actually see. It's going to be Affi who wins that battle. Affi first, Egér second, and Massa in third. Affi with the 123.592. Rollin will cross the line in fourth place, and Affi yet again will comfort his advantage. 56 points for him in first place. Egér will move up to second place with 33. Massa third with 30.
Very close round there, and a great time at 123.5, and the pace is fast in this match. Affi, though, drawing the shortest, the longest under the six, sorry, and gets 10 points there, although it was only 1800s between the three players. And now we're going on to round 3. Can they make some adaptations here? Rollin, who crashed, certainly looking to avoid the walls this round, and he is now in a fight for first here, trying to hold on in this match. Cannot afford to make more mistakes like that if he wants to advance in the single elimination phase of this combine, and he's doing great right now on the tail of Affi's car. Only a few hundreds apart between the two, but a very wide rift there. Don't know if that was intentional. Will drop 2 positions now to Massa and Affi, and into third he goes, but probably further now as he hits the wall before the high-speed section, and it could be a close battle between those two, but we are going to have to go up to the battle in front now. Affi versus Massa here. but
And it seems as though Massa has dropped a little bit of momentum here. And Affi has managed to build himself up a gap of around half a second to Massa in second place. And now we're going to go through the identity for the third time here through the first grass slide U-turn right here. It seems as though no fails on behalf of Affi, as solid as a rock through this particular part. It seems as though he's looking pretty set to score yet another 10 points, going for the safe way. He knows he can... Oh, actually, he got the slowdown. It could be the cue for Massa, and Massa will cross the line in first place with that slowdown from Affi. Affi second, Rollin third, Egér fourth.
And what a mix-up at the end there. We thought the positions were defined, but Massa will take the win, and Rollin will snipe third from Egér. So we have Massa there getting 10 points, and Egér getting a good 6, and suddenly it's very close again below Affi, though he is now halfway to the points limit. I guess we can explain the format here. So the players are playing towards 120 points. Affi now currently with 62, and once they hit that point limit, they will have to then enter finalist mode, where if they win one more round, they will secure their position. So certainly nothing decided yet, but the closer you are to 120, the more poised you are to advance here. And in this round, it's a two-way battle here between Affi and Rollin. As we've seen so many times across the dirt here, these two players are the best at this style in Trackmania, but now anything can happen.
Anything can happen indeed, and right now we're seeing that Rollin and Affi are duking it out really hard here, but Affi remaining in the lead with less than a tenth between him and Rollin. But it seems that the Rollin has managed to overtake him just before the wall ride as we speak, and now we're going to see that the Austrian driver has taken over the reins of this race, 0.3 of a second in front of Affi, as they're going to go through the final part of the race, as we see Massa catching up to both of the leading pack, and we could potentially see Dennis Slotze coming thick and fast and overtake both of them. Now Affi having to release a lot, and that's going to drop him down to third place as Massa goes through, and they're going to go through the grass line. Ooh, really risky line for Massa. He's going to jump down to third, but look at the pack, how it's closed up right now, as they're going to go to the final part of the identity with the drop down and the cross of the curves. Will it be Rollin or will it be Affi? Oh, Rollin with a huge soap pick, and that's going to be Affi, Massa, and Egér first, second, and third. And it seems as though Rollin will not be able to score any points. He will not be able to cross the line, unfortunately, for the Austrian. It looks so good, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. And Affi, with 72 points, comforts his lead. Massa, 46 points for him in second, and 40 points for Egér in third.
Oh, Rollin getting a bit desperate here, it seems. He is in last place in this match, had to make something happen. Those 10 points would be great for him, and he pushed it all at the end to try to get them, but it just wasn't enough. And he will get 0 points that round too, now sitting at 30 to the others 40 and 46. That is where he's going to have to catch up to. He wants to advance here in this tournament and in the combine as well. So very important now for Rollin to stabilize after that mistake and try again in this round, and he is doing a great job at that. Currently battling for first, battling with an Affi here, and Massa is certainly in the mix. Egér has dropped down half a second behind though. It will be between these three players. We saw Massa making a huge comeback in the previous round. After being in this position far behind, he managed to catch up in those tight technical corners coming up after this wall ride, and could see that happen again. He is certainly in striking distance here for the 10 points here and this round, and he's closing in the gap now to Rollin and to Affi here, and coming up to the identity. It's a three-way tie here.
It's a three-way tie, but never count out Cupra 305. Massa is coming thick and fast, making short work of potentially both of them, as they're going to go through the identity for the fifth and final time. Potentially Affi with a much better line, but look at Massa. He's got almost as much momentum as them, and he's going to stay in that battle. Let's actually see how it will go. So the final part of the identity is going to be all about the risking. Who will risk the most? It will be Massa, but no, it will be Affi who will cross the line in first for less than 0.03 of a second from Rollin in second, Massa third, and Egér in fourth place.
What a round. The level here is insane, and Affi barely getting the best of that one as well. Another 10-pointer, and extends his lead now up to 82 to the second place is 50, and he is looking great in this match.
He is looking really, really great indeed. He does have a theoretical chance of closing everything off and sealing his spot in the semifinal on this map, Bunnyhop.
Yeah, and we are going on to Bunnyhop. This track needs a bit of explanation. If you are new to Trackmania, we have the identity here on the end of the track. This orange line here that you can see coming to the finish. And these blocks right here will give your car a bounce. Now, the players have practiced this bouncy line here to have a set pattern that will work every time if they execute correctly. And we are going to see that being used here in the warm-up and in the match as well. Apart from that, this track has a lot of dirt in the start here, important to control your car's gears here, and also very tight technical corners. So really, you gotta master everything here. Gotta really stay on your game, because any small mistake will cost you a tremendous amount of time, especially here, like Affi clipping the hole there. And you can see how far back the respawn is. You are out of the round if you make that mistake.
That uphill is probably one of the biggest killers on this track, along with the section that just follows it and the drop down before the drop down to the identity. The identity is one of the relatively easier ones that we saw in this current map pack, and we see that Massa is currently getting through the identity one time in the warm-up. He will get the warm-up win pretty easily unless something happens and Egér snipes him. It will not be the case. So rundown after 2 maps, then Affi first with 82, Massa second with 50, Egér third with 43, and Rollin fourth with 36.
And we actually see a great time there from Massa, a 1:10.36. That was almost on par with his time attack time that he had played 10 minutes to get earlier. So Massa, great signs of strength here in the first round, and he's currently sitting in second place. Could try to increase the gap down to Egér and Rollin here. Let's see what happens on the first round of Bunnyhop. We are spectating Egér right now going into the underground section on the dirt. Very important to get grip at just the right time to clear this corner, and Massa will drop down here on the very first round. Didn't get that turn to work, and he is now a second behind the pack. Rollin in first right now. Very important to get a good line out of this turn. It sets you up for the uphill. Egér gets it great here, will have good speed towards the other two players, but they go wider and they will catch up, and it will be a close battle between Affi and Rollin going up the hill now. Let's see what happens on the holes here. Very important to avoid them, and Affi will not be able to do so. And now it is Egér and Rollin in the mix here. Perhaps Massa has something to say. 0.6 behind will catch Rollin. And Egér now poised to take this win if he knows he has the lead here. 0.7 is the difference, but let's see what happens on the identity.
Really huge mistake from Rollin just before we got to the loop that leads to the identity, with a lot of momentum being dropped down on the behalf of the Australian player, and Egér will have to be respawning, and that's going to be it. It's going to be Massa who, in the end, after being 1 second down, will cross the line in first place on this first round. Massa will be in first, Rollin in second, Affi third, and Egér, let's see if he's able to cross the line. Yes, he will be able to cross the line in fourth place, but only score 3 points. So heartbreaking.
And Massa, seemingly miraculously, has made a comeback. He crashed in the underground section. The race looked over on that round, but all the other players made huge mistakes and allowed him to get 10 points. Now solidifying his second place. You can see it's 60 to the 46 and 42 of the other two players. But let's take this round first before we have another look at it. And right now it is close, though Egér has dripped a bit of time. 0.2 behind the other two players going into the dirt here.
It seems as though we're steering a really tight battle again between Rollin and Affi, two players that are well versed in the dirt environment, as we know it. And Massa trying to keep tabs on him, but he's got much less speed than Egér, and Egér will be able to cross in third place. Sorry, I got a little bit carried away by myself. But let's see over the holes. Oh, Egér dropping a lot of momentum compared to the rest of the guys. Meanwhile, Affi seems as though he's got this part down after his flounder on round 1, and he looks pretty confident
Massa,
here.
I don't know what happened to him. He stopped steering mid-turn and hugged the outside wall. We could have a technical issue with Massa there, but the race goes on, and right now Affi is going for first place shortly ahead of Rollin. 0.2 is the difference, and let's see the final identity part over these bumpers now. Affi with the lead, but Rollin with more speed. He's trying to push for the win here. It's not enough though, and Affi takes that with a great time, a 1:10.36 there.
Okay, good rounds being called out by everyone, except maybe for Massa. Maybe he could have a technical issue. We're going to have to wait and see the feedback from the German driver. But yeah, not really sure what happened. I didn't catch that on my POV, sadly. Oh, wait, it seems as though we got an issue on Massa. He had to finish with keyboard. Yeah, his pad seems to have disconnected, unfortunately. And yeah, it seems as though he's stuck at the start, and we'll have to have a remake.
Yeah, so we are having a bit of a wait now. Massa, not sure what happened with this controller, but he's trying to fix it. Again, you can play this game with both a keyboard and a controller, and Seems that Massa's controller has some issues. That's what happened in that previous round. So now we are waiting. It works now. I think we're ready to go. So we'll have the second round.
Yeah, we got the confirmation from Massa that it actually works. HUD was turned off, so he couldn't insta-type either. So yeah, he took a little bit of time to actually warn the other players. But here we go. We are live with round 3 on Bunnyhop. Round 13 out of potential 60. Round 13 out of potential, 30. Oh, quick maths for this match of the single elimination bracket. And so far, a really packed start with the battle between Massa, Affi, and Rollin.
Yeah, and now into the dirt. Rollin should be the clear favorite here. Has the lead already. Could he extend it here? Affi doing a great part there, and up the hill it will be Affi. Rollin loses the gear. Untraditional scene from Rollin there. He loses the gear in the dirt and will drop down to the other players. Now we're going up the hill and he will have to make up the gap here. Egér with lower speed. He will at least get one position, but Massa is challenging Affi for first this time around on this turn. His controller is fine and he is in the battle for first now. Can he catch Affi here, who's had a great match so far? These two players have inched ahead of the others, but now Massa with 10 points here. He would really make a runaway from Egér and Rollin. One identity here to decide it. Will it be 6 points or 10 for Massa here? Affi still in the lead, and Affi should have this under control. It will be Affi with another 10. Massa in second with 6 points there.
Affi with the forehead finish, I would like to call it, hitting the top of the finish, but still being registered. And Affi on 106 is inching closer and closer to that finalist mode as we start round number 4.
You mentioned it earlier that Affi could potentially close out the match here on this track. He is a bit too far away now, but he could enter finalist mode with 2 more wins here, or a win and a second place. And Affi looking great in this match. Open league player. He played through the qualifier with 400 players. And he came out on top of them all, got the first seed, and now he's first in his match here in the single elimination bracket part of the combine. Can he close this out now and show that he really does deserve a place in the Grand League next season? Only Rollin and him are left in this race, and I think we know who the favorite is going to be, at least after that mistake. Affi will get the lead now. Can he hold it for the rest of the round and get up to 116 points here?
I would not doubt anything from Affi. He's been really solid throughout the season, and I don't think he would be dropping the big points. But, you know, the fear of winning, the pressure could get to him and could get to absolutely anybody in cup mode. And we'll have to see Affi as he will go through the identity. The first bumper, really nicely well done, really early on the second bumper and the third bumper as well. And it's going to be a round win for Affi, moving on to 116 points, only 4 points away, a third place finish away from getting into finalists. Massa second, Rollin in third, and Egér will cross the line in fourth, just in time to score 3 points.
Yeah, and another second place there from Massa. That's huge. He's keeping the other 2 players at bay, has built up a 20-point lead down to the other players. Should Affi move on here, Massa has now built up a great lead to defend his position and maybe get the second qualifying spot here in this bracket. We'll have to see. But let's now take a look at Affi. If he can get a 3rd place or better in this round, he will get into what's known as finalist mode. And at that point, he only needs to win 1 more round to advance in the tournament here.
Yeah, exactly. He must be thinking to himself, all right, I have 2 options. I can either go for full style and win the 5th and final round, or I could just safe it and try to go at least in 3rd place or 2nd place in order to secure myself the points needed to get into finalists. But it seems as though the Swiss driver is not having any of that second option, as Massa and Rollin have dropped a lot of speed on the uphill, and that's going to be Egér promoted up to 2nd place, but Egér will be half a second down on the leader, Affi, and it seems as though he's looking pretty good for that 5th round win with a bit of a clip on the hole, but still 0.4 of a second as we're going to go through the identity for the final time in this match coming up. 0.3 of a second for Egér, but I don't know if it will be enough to catch up to Affi. Let's actually see on the identity. Oh, Egér, his sideline. It is going to be the respawn, and it's going to be Affi who will win the round in the end. Affi first, Rollin in 2nd place, Massa 3rd, and it seems as though Egér will not be able to score. He will not be able to cross the line, unfortunately. And Affi with 126 will move into finalist mode as we head into the next map.
Affi moves into finalist mode in style. He only needed a 3rd place or better, but now he wins that round, denies some points, and sits at 120 to Massa 79. Has potentially 5 or more undisturbed attempts at winning a round here and getting that first place in this match. We are going on to Zeppelin here.
And Zeppelin, as we mentioned earlier, the map that was considered the points guillotine of Step 5 and Step 6 as well, when it was played in both the Open and the Grand League itself. It was one of those identities that was among the most feared by most players, including the big names that we saw in the playoffs. And yeah, we're going to see Affi having 5 clear attempts to seal it all off and validate his place in the semifinal.
He looks poised to take it here, so perhaps we should look at the battle now between the other players. Should he close it out? It will be close, but Massa has managed to get ahead. Egér and Rollin, now is the time to step it up. It is a single elimination tournament, which means that if you lose a match here, you are out of this phase of the combined. So now is the time to step up. This is one of the maps to do it on. Zeppelin here, the longest track in this match, 1:26 or 7 are the times we're looking at. Saw a world record here being driven by Marcin, and I believe Affi very close to that time as well, driving great in the warm-up here and is looking great for the advancement. Let's see here on the identity, they jump onto the Zeppelin, off to the side here now through this checkpoint hoop down to the other half pipe. And the identity doesn't end yet, because you have one more section onto the airship again and down towards the finish.
And so, with the warm-up being done and dusted for most players, we're gonna have Rollin, who's not gonna be finishing. He's not taking the part. He's gonna be DFing, and we're starting with map 4 of this match, round number 16, underway.
And good luck to Affi here. Finalist mode has been achieved. Only one win away from the semifinals in this phase of the combine. One more round, but it's all he needs. He needs to beat these 3 players. 2 of them are Trackmania Grand League players that he's trying to beat overall. And this could be a great start to that venture towards going into the Grand League next year. He needs to win here now. Massa, though, trying to deny him. Current Grand League player in the lead of this round, though Affi is challenging that. Egér shortly behind, and we don't know what's going to happen here. We'll have to see after the dirt. This could be an undecisive part. Affi clear favorite going into this uphill. Important to get good exit speed out of it, but Massa nails it very nice and remains ahead of Affi, perhaps even extending his lead a little bit, and it's just a few hundreds between the two as we now come up to the identity. Just a few turns remaining. Affi gets the better of that one and will jump up into first, or just about as we go towards the identity now. Let's find out what happens.
Massa not having any of that and not going down without a fight, currently leading Affi by less than a tenth as they're going to go through the first Zeppelin jump right here. Let's actually see how they recept in. Affi will have to fail here, and he will drop down to P3. Will he clear the transfer jump? Yes, he will, but he will still be behind Egér and Massa on the verge of winning the round and bagging himself 10 points and gets closer himself to finalist mode. The final jump coming in, and Massa will cross the line in first, Egér second, Affi third, and it seems as though we're going to have... Rollin, where is Rollin? It seems as though he did not finish. Yeah, he did finish with 3 points on the board.
Yeah, important 10 for Massa there. Whatever happens with Affi, he is now looking great for advancing as well. Affi barely failing his first finals attempt there. It was close with Massa, and the pace they were driving was very fast in that round. A 1:26.67 by Massa, and that just speaks to the level here. Almost at the time attack pace here.
Yeah, almost time attack pace, and meanwhile, as we already started with round number 2 after the first few checkpoints, it's going to be Massa pulling in 1/10 ahead of Egér and Affi, but it looks as though the two are reeling the German in, and it's going to be up to Cupra 305, Massa, to actually withstand the pressure. But we know the man, we know he's going to give it his all to potentially get himself into the first spot and deny Affi from the joy from moving already early in the second semi-final and getting himself potentially a break. We're going to have to see in the dirt turn. Oh, Massa clipping, and it's going to be up to Egér to maintain the dream and keep the dream alive of that denial. But Affi is pulling away from him 1/10 of a second already from Egér in second place. The Team Centauri driver from Hungary is gonna have to have the drive of his life if he's gonna deny Affi from getting up into the semi-final. But it seems as though the XLT driver from Switzerland is looking really, really good here, as they're gonna go to the identity for the second time only in this map, and could potentially be the closer. And Egér fails it. Let's actually see how Affi goes. Transfer jump is done perfectly on the Affi part. Let's actually see the final Zeppelin jump. You can only GG early in chat, but it could still be one jump away from disaster. Affi will cross the line, and now it will be semi-final number 2 for Affi. No, semi-final number 1, sorry, for Affi, who finishes in first and wins the round. Rollin second, Massa third, and Egér will cross the line in fourth.
Great stuff by Affi, and I think we can all say a well-deserved advancement had this match by the horns there, and advances now with the second place only having 93 points. Dominant performance by him, but we still have one more spot here for the semi-final, and who is going to take it here and who's going to be out of the tournament, we'll have to see. But right now, Massa with 93 points looking the best, Rollin with 71, and Egér with 65. Here we go over the dirt into the third round on Zeppelin, and we saw a massive pace there from Affi in the last round. Rollin the closest behind with a 127 flat, only half a second behind him, and could do the same here and get nice points now that Affi is out of it. Only Massa between him and a good 10, and Massa has suddenly dropped down with that inside line touch on the wall. Now it's between Egér and Rollin, the last two players in this match. They will have to get points on Massa in this round, but who will get the important 10? Will it be Rollin or will it be Egér here? We have a few turns remaining, and then the identity and Egér has closed the gap. They are now dead even as we go into this, perhaps with more speed towards the identity. It is going to be so close here, but Rollin has the upper hand. The difference is a matter of 500ths of a second, but now Egér is ahead with more speed onto the first part, jumping onto Zeppelin, down into the quarter pipe. He has a lead on Rollin, but it's only 500ths. Rollin jumping very short here, will have to adapt his line, and Egér has this if he lands the last Zeppelin with a grip on it, but he loses the grip and he falls off, and Rollin will get a nice 10 there, thanks to Egér's mistake. And I can't believe what we're seeing. Rollin gets that round gifted to him, it seems like, with Massa and Egér both making mistakes. Very important.
And not even being able to finish for Egér, expressing his disbelief with a simple okay in the game chat, and it will be Rollin who will collect the fruits of that at some point. And Massa, having collected the 10 points for the win with 99 points, he's only 3 rounds away, and as we say that, he completely chokes it at the first turn, and that's going to be a battle between Egér and Rollin already, and we're not even 20 seconds in, and Rollin has also made a mistake, and that's going to be all up to Egér now to not choke it and score the 10 points.
Surely Egér has this under control now. After that last fail, he can't afford to make another mistake like he did in the last round. This lead is so dominant that it should be all but decided here. But the track is very hard to drive, and Egér has made a mistake on this also decisive jump.
Rollin again with another clip. What the hell is happening on this round? The biggest Keck W round we're seeing so far. And so far it's Massa who's had such an awful start that's now coming out in the lead 0.3 of a second in front of Rollin, but it seems as though nobody can challenge him at this point if nothing happens.
And how on earth has Massa ended up first in this round? He made a huge mistake. He was 4 seconds behind, but suddenly he finds himself in first with one more identity remaining, and this could be huge. He could have only 2 rounds away from finals mode if he gets this last identity. Rollin though chasing him. He's only half a second behind within striking range if something happens to Massa, but Massa seems to have this under his control. One more jump. He goes very low, but it is enough. Rollin will follow shortly behind Egér as well. One more jump now, and Massa will get the 10 here. He will indeed. Rollin shortly behind gets the...
No, he was not fixed it! He's gonna be Rollin who snipes it in the line! Unbelievable scenes!
I can't believe it. This is the craziest round of Trackmania I've ever seen. Massa, how many back and forths are we gonna have? Massa doesn't get the 10. Rollin gets the round win. And ladies
Can you let me back to breathe in? I just need to calm down. What the fuck just happened?
Very interesting round there, but we have more action. One more round on Zeppelin, and let's hope for a closer affair this time. It is Massa with the best start. Egér shortly behind. Rollin, 0.15 in third right now. No mistakes so far, and that is what we want to see. We want to see a clean race between all the three players with no mistakes, and the decisive part being the optimal lines here. Massa driving a great start, 0.3 ahead of Egér and Rollin, and he should have this under control for now. Going into the dirt though, could Rollin close the gap here to one of the other players? Got 10 points gifted in that last round after a bit of back and forth, but the drama doesn't end yet because the difference is only 0.2 to Egér and 0.6 now up to Massa though. Let's follow Egér, or let's not, because he is completely out of it. Fails that drift, and now it's Massa poised to take 10 here unless he hits the pole on that very last part like what happened in the last round. Let's see now on the identity.
It was a big oof for Massa on the last round. It was a big oof that we saw a little bit earlier for Egér as he clipped the inside hole before the part of the identity. But it seems as though Massa, Dennis Lutze, has got it under control at the transfer part. Let's actually hope he doesn't pull off the same mistake twice, and we'll actually be able to cross the finish line in first place. Let's actually see on the landing. It's pretty much perfect, and he will get the 10 points this time. Rollin in second place. Let's actually see if Egér is able to finish. He will be able to cross the line and score 4 points for third place. And no, he will actually BM and will not score anything as he did not finish.
Rollin, or Egér I should say, perhaps feeling the pressure now. He's 30 points down already and is gonna have to make a great comeback. Perhaps feeling a bit lost after having the lead now 2 rounds in a row on Zeppelin, 10 points twice in a row in his hands, and he threw it away. That certainly makes you feel the pressure, but what also makes you feel the pressure is this track right here. We've seen it in the playoffs be so decisive. This is Mini XXL here, and we are going on to the warm-up and then potentially the last match of this match here. Massa currently at 115 points. He will reach finalist in 1 or 2 rounds here and then try to close it out. Rollin has to hold on, has to get 10 points perhaps in the first 2 rounds here to have a chance at defending and moving on into the bracket.
Only a second place is needed for Massa. He needs only 5 points to secure himself into the finalist mode. Rollin will have to make sure that he denies that to deny the big points again at the round wins subsequently for Massa to potentially get into a fight, into a double finalist fight for the last remaining spot in the first semifinal of the winning of the combined single elimination bracket.
And as we say that, we see in chat Egér writing "not my day," so he might just have surrendered this match, and it would be a 1v1 battle between the German and the Austrian here. If that's the case, we'll have to see after the warm-up if he elects to drive or not. But for now, Massa and Rollin finishing up their warm-up runs, and Massa here, you can see the identity on this track, the no grip section. Your car is very slippery here, up and down the hill, and you have to try to aim towards the finish, not like Rollin did in the warm-up here. That could cost you a spot in the semis.
That could cost you a spot in the semis. If you get your line wrong in this particular U-turn, everything can absolutely unravel. Whether you're going off the track or full stop picking in the checkpoint like it happened unfortunately to Tween on the lower bracket semi-final in the playoffs. And we are already live with the round start, and we're going to be specking Rollin for now, who's in the right group so far. Ooh, a little bit of a dodgy. Ooh, and that's going to be Egér, who is full stop picking it, and it's going to be also completely out for him. Massa versus Rollin, only 1/10 between the two.
Yeah, Egér tried to drive there, but I don't think he's feeling it. The pressure has gotten to him, and the point difference is perhaps unsurmountable. It will be between Massa and Rollin in this match right here, but right now Massa with the lead could go into finalist mode immediately. Will actually, regardless between him and Rollin, but can Rollin get the important 10 points and try to get finalist mode himself within 3 rounds or so? He's on Massa's tail right now. Important turn here, and they will have equal speed going up the hill. Oh, Rollin though with a fail drift will drip time here. Massa will capitalize on that, and the difference is going to jump up to 2600s here with the pole turn, but Massa gets it clean and Rollin doesn't, so now it's a 1 second difference. Was that a no drift from Massa? The difference hasn't increased, it's actually decreased, and Rollin still has a chance here. Maybe with a great identity he could snipe the round win, or will Massa take this 10 points? And the red text next to his name, finalist mode, has been achieved by Massa, ladies and gentlemen.
So Massa 10 points for him with a 115.956, Rollin in second place with 6 points, and Egér will collect 4 points, finishing in third after an early mistake on the round. And yes, as you said, finalist mode for Massa, Dennis Lotze about to close it out.
So all eyes on Massa here. 120 points has been fiercely collected, but now he needs to win one more round here and he will move on in the tournament. We already saw Egér failing to start. He has retired. Only Rollin can stop Massa now, and the difference is increasing here. Massa 0.2 ahead in the start already. Rollin needs to do something now. It is only he who can stop Massa from advancing. If he wants to advance himself, nobody else can help him here. It's a 1v1 situation, and Massa is handling it brilliantly right now. 0.3 ahead, but Rollin certainly the favorite of the two in the dirt part. And this is the place on the track where he will have to make something happen, but he gets a lower gear. He does not gear up at the correct spot, and Massa increases his lead now up to half a second ahead. And this is something that he can work with. This is a position he's been in before. Very experienced tournament player, and I don't think he will let this lead slip away. It is all in his hands now. 0.55 as we go into the last part. He goes so close to the pole, but he stays alive in this round, and he still could close it out here. 0.7 with one identity remaining, and we could have our semi-finalist set in stone here. Massa, the second to advance if he gets this part correctly, but let's take him through the checkpoint before we call it out. And yes, indeed, Massa will move on to the semi-final in the single bracket elimination tournament in the combine.